Alright everyone, here's scent control video number 2. This one's on my boots. How I take care of them and stuff. First things first. As you can see, I'm washing out the bins. This big bin, all my boots go in it. And I'll keep the one pair that I'm hunting with in the smaller bin and keep this in the back of my truck. This big bin stays at camp. Now, you just want to take some of your scent-free soap. I use this Scent Lock kind. Squirt some in the bins, fill them up with water, get them nice and sudsy. That way, they're clean. I'll let them sit for 15 minutes. Empty them out, rinse them out. Now this big one I use to also wash my boots in. I'll just take the boot, throw it in here, clean, make sure you get the inside cleaned out good. I'll just let them soak for a few minutes, pull them out, rinse them, and I hang them upside down so that they drip dry. After they've drip dried for a while, I'll bring them and put them on my boot dryer to finish drying. And then after I wash all my boots, I'll empty this bin out, rinse it out, let it dry, and all my boots will go back in there after they're all clean. Alright, so when I get to my hunting spot, I get out of my truck, go to the back of my truck, put my Scent Lock pants on, leave the legs unzipped. I'll grab my pair of boots out of here, spray them down good with a scent eliminating spray. This year I'm going to use this ozone sprayer from Scent Lock. They also make a good field spray you could use. Spray the boots down real good, set them on the ground, step into them, and zip your Scent Lock pant legs over top of the boots. You don't want to tuck them in because every step you take, the air comes out when you tuck the pants in. They come out, they're not sealed tight, and your foot odor comes out of them. With the Scent Lock pants over top of them, your foot odor comes out, but it has to go through the Scent Lock and get it absorbed by the Scent Lock before it can reach the outside. So the Scent Lock will soak it all up. You do not want to wear your boots in your truck or anywhere other than your hunting location. If I'm not at my hunting spot, my boots are in this bin. I also suggest rubber boots. Kind with a neoprene on them are okay. I think you can clean that neoprene pretty good. But if you have like Gore-Tex boots or something, you really got to be careful not to get anything on them, foreign substance or anything, because you'll never get that smell out of them. Now, I have to give credit to my buddy Blake Davis for this one. I always had the occasional deer. Back in my early years before I started doing it like this, every deer that come across my scent trail would freak out. It'd smell me, freak out, stomp, snort, run away, what have you. I started doing it, the Scent Lock, and doing it like this, and had pretty good success. But every once in a while a deer would catch where I walked in, and it would mill around a bit, sniffing around, rooting around like it was looking for something. And a lot of times them deer would follow my scent trail right up to my tree stand and end up busting me. They'd smell, they didn't really know what it was, but they could smell something walked in there. And I was having this conversation with Blake one day, And he told me they're smelling the ground disturbance. They're not smelling scent. That's why they're searching it out. They're looking for what made the smell. They can tell something walked through from the smell of the ground disturbance, but they couldn't quite make out what it was. And he suggested, putting some deer urine or something on my boots. So what I did, I went out and bought some of these boot pads. They slip right over your boots. I wear them on top of the boot like this. And when I get, 100, 200 yards from my stand, I'll spray some raccoon urine on them and slide them to the underside of the boot. Now what that does, that will make, when that deer comes across that ground disturbance and it tries to root out the smell, it'll smell where you stepped. It'll come across there and it'll smell the urine from the raccoon. Now you could use deer urine, but my thought is the deer are going to try and track that deer if they come across, deer urine. If they smell it was just a raccoon, they're not going to pay any attention to it. They come across raccoon scent in the woods all over the place. Fox urine might work just as well. But I used the raccoon, and I've had awesome success since then. People are going to think I'm BSing them, but I do not have deer show a bad reaction to my scent trail ever anymore. That they come across it like I didn't even walk through there. Or they'll come across it, put their nose down for a second, probably smell that raccoon urine, and then just continue on their way. Never do they show a negative reaction. And that's why I always say this theory of hunting a spot once or twice and then you've blown it out, it's not true. You just have to do things different. If you're going in there with no scent precautions whatsoever, yeah, I would not hunt a spot more than once or twice. But doing it this way, I get away with it every season. I hunt some of my better spots 5 or 10 times, and during the rut, I'll keep hammering the same spot if I'm seeing deer in there, and they're none the wiser. So give this a try. Follow my routine. I mean, what do you have to lose? Yeah, scent lock costs some money, but it ain't any more expensive than top of the line gear like Sitka or anything. And how much are you willing to go through to have success? I'll try anything, and I've tried this, been doing this for 20 plus years, and it works awesome. So that's what I do with my boots. Be on the lookout for the next video, and give it a try this fall. You'll be surprised.